Hi, I'm Prayson Pate. I am the CTO of the Edge Cloud Group at ADVA, where I also lead solutions marketing. Today I'm joined by Michael Waldo, who is in product line management for the FSP 150 family. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing great today, Prayson. Thanks.
We are starting to see some spectacular fall weather here in North Carolina. Beautiful days, cool evenings. What about there in Texas?
Well, in Dallas area, it's getting a little bit cooler as well. So we've been spending some evenings outside and got to meet a few more neighbors out for their evening walks. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, it's good to get out and see the world, but today we have to be inside and record this video. And we're going to be talking about some of the recent trends that we're seeing in the access market and talk about our new product, the FSP 150 XJ128. But first, Michael, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing in the access market, some of the trends, the problems they're creating, as well as the opportunities for both enterprises and service providers.
So two things that stand out for me. The first is bandwidth growth at the edge of the network. Much of what we hear today is how 1 gigabit per second Ethernet services are no longer providing the needed bandwidth in today's access network. Over the past few years, there's been a steady transition by service providers to install 10 gig access links to the edge. And this is a direct result of increasing bandwidth needs, business services, wholesale services, and mobile backhaul. So for business services and wholesale, Ethernet subscribers are asking for 1 gig up to 100 gig. But a large portion of the requests are at 10 gig. And this 10 gig is the user network interface, or the UNI. And this is the demarcation point for the customer. Also, using the 10 gig Ethernet interfaces, sometimes this UNI comes in the form of two 10 gig ports in a link aggregation group, giving the subscriber a 20 gig UNI. Now, mobile backhaul network connections are also moving up in bandwidth. 10 gigabit per second to the cell site gateway is common, and the newer tower installations are getting 25 gig. Now, 100 gig Ethernet links out to the edge are one solution for this increased bandwidth. In some cases, 100 gig is the best solution. Multi-tenant 10 gig or deployments where the aggregated bandwidth is something greater than 50 gig. But 100 gig network interfaces bring technical challenges for power and density, as well as significant increase in cost. Some service providers are looking at 25 gig Ethernet as a more cost-effective step in the bandwidth for the network interface. Now, the second item that stands out is the need for improved automation, specifically APIs that allow software programmability of the network element, not only for service orchestration, but full control of the device, service activation testing, in-service diagnostics, firmware maintenance, a complete API for controlling all aspects of the device and its service lifecycle. Increased bandwidth and the need for this automation are two trends we hear about. But as we are focusing on the network edge, the bandwidth and automation needs to fold into all the other aspects of service demarcation, such as PTP and synchronization for remote sites. And because the majority of these services are for 10 gig up to 25 gig, a cost-effective demarcation solution is needed supporting this higher bandwidth.
So we need to provide all of the carrier Ethernet goodness and features and automation that our customers are familiar with, but add to that the 25 gig interfaces. And that's what we're here to talk about today, our new XJ128. So tell us a little bit about what it provides, some of its features and benefits, starting with the network aspects.
So the XJ128, it takes ADVA's well-established FSP 150 Ethernet demarcation platform, and it ups the data rates to match the needs of the new network. 1 gig, 10 gig, and 25 gig client-side unis with redundant 25 gig network uplinks. So there gives no need for the complications of a network lag for these 20 gig business services. And single fiber working interfaces are possible at 2.5 times the link bandwidth that we have in the network today. Business services and mobile backhaul applications can have the 25 gig fiber demarcation they require in a temperature hardened, passively cooled NID. And this is within the same form factor as the existing 10 gig demarcation. Plus, the XJ128 has the synchronization functionality for mobile and sync as a service. So a few details about the product. The SFP28 network uplinks support various network architectures, operating as two independent NNIs or ring interfaces supporting standard G.8032 service protection, or as an aggregated 50 gig lag. Multiple client interfaces on the XJ128 support MEF services over 1 gig, 10 gig, 25 gig fiber, as well as 1000 base T. Synchronization interfaces have time of day and bits from the recovered PTP clock, and all the layer 2 demarcation and synchronization capabilities that are common to the FSP 150 product line are included, coupled with this increased bandwidth of the 25 gig interfaces.
Well, that's all great in terms of helping our users build out their networks, but we know that that is not sufficient. And in particular, management and deployment features are critical. So how are we addressing that with the XJ128 to help our customers realize the benefits of moving to higher speed interfaces?
Well, I mentioned the network automation earlier, and network automation comes with the netconf interface that uses a Yang module set that's common to the ADVA FSP 150. And this automation interface provides full device management capability, equipment inventory, maintenance actions, service orchestration. Any operations that can be performed using the ADVA CLI can be automated using this netconf interface. Remote deployment at large scale is made easier with the FSP 150 low-touch provisioning feature. And this builds from the DHCP network auto configuration and then automatically applies a base configuration to initiate communication up to an equipment management system.
Now, you mentioned wireless or 5G applications, and some of those come with extreme physical conditions. What are we doing to address those harsh environmental conditions with the XJ128?
Well, these remote installations can often be in harsh environments. So the XJ128 is designed with an extended operating temperature range. The XJ128 is also fanless for noiseless operation, either at a customer premise or office installations. And many of these higher bandwidth services require increased uptime. And the XJ128 has redundant hot swappable PSUs, either AC, DC, or a mix. And this protects against PSU failure or power supply failure at these remote locations that you might not have access to.
Well, that sounds like a great set of features. All of the carrier Ethernet capabilities that our customers have come to know and love, excellent management capabilities, environmental features to support deployments, as well as the new 25 gig interfaces. Sounds like a great product, and we look forward to hearing more about it. But that's all we have time for today. So, Michael, I appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing more.
Thanks, Prayson. My pleasure.
TechCam.